Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Tonya. I am the host of the Mucho Dinero TV show, and I'm so excited because this month is Women's History Month, and on purpose, I've hand selected some guests to be on here that is definitely going to promote us. They're going to educate us, and they're definitely going to educate us, and they're definitely going to empower us. I said education twice because today is about education, and that's for sure. So listen to the commercial, and we'll be right back. Once again, my name is Dr. Tonya. Now is a good time to make sure you go ahead and start inviting some guests because you do not want to miss the show today. I have a very special person that's coming on here today. Her name is Charismatic. And there she goes. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being on the Mucho Dinero TV show. And on this show, on purpose, we educate, we empower, and we promote others. So today, it's just an awesome day. Charisma, there's so many great things about you. I've been like stalking you for several months now. So, once again, thank you so much for coming. So I'm going to share a little bit about your bio. You are living your dream travel life through real estate investing. As a founder of Charismatic Investors and Charisma Cares travels the world, your portfolio consists of single-family properties and multi-family apartment syndications in multiple states. You use your knowledge to teach women to invest in the hands-off real estate. And as a solo mom traveling the world with a child with special needs, you challenge other women to live out their dream life as well. And that's why I wanted you to be on here so bad.
Oh, yes.
uh,
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being a part of the Mucho Dinero TV today. Charisma, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, your story, anything you want to share?
So quick blurb about my story. I am a mom of two. My daughter had her 18. I was in college pregnant. Like I was that person. So, people didn't think that I would make it through. Got my bachelor's in nursing. Me and my daughter, we pushed through. We were like two peas in a pod. Um, and later got married, had my son. My son had a disability. That marriage ended in divorce, but pushed through with my son as well. They said things would get worse as he got older. And because of this rare disorder, KIF1A, um,
Mm-hmm.
so rare that at the time it was only 200 people in the world with it. To date, we're up to about 400 or 500 people. But they said that it would get worse over time. So I said, all right, well, basically, first of all, I need to work smarter, not harder, because he had lots of appointments and I still had to take care of my baby girl. So I went back to school, got my master's degree. I had always wanted to invest in real estate, but the husband I had at the time did not believe in doing any of my dreams that I had. And that included getting my master's. So I went back, got my master's degree, started working as a nurse practitioner while still taking care of the kids. And at that point, I had my first house already, and I had bought that house before I got married on purpose, so it would only be in my name. I had bought that house, and I knew I wanted it to be an investment. However, it took me 10 years. I was in the house for 10 years before I made a move to my next house. But once I used that house as a rental, then I started getting other rentals. I started partnering. I started investing in syndications. And right now I'm in the process of buying land overseas. So,
Woo!
yeah.
Sorry.
And the travel part came in. I said that, my daughter, she needed stability. She needed to be in her school with her friends. But my son, it's like wherever mama is, he is. So I said, well, if this gets worse as you get older, we're going to go ahead and live our life and our dreams out now. We're going to do all those things that people wait till they in their 20s and 30s and 40s to do. We're going to do them now, and we're going to go travel this world.
That's
So
right.
that's what we did.
That's awesome. What an awesome story, and that goes to show you that after the divorce, there is life after the divorce. Number one.
Good
And
life.
that, yeah, good life after divorce. This is actually, I'm in my second marriage. My first marriage, oh Lord, but my
Yeah.
second marriage has been, it's been awesome. But there is life after the divorce, and something you don't really know about me is that I travel a whole lot, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and my desire is to be called the traveling professor because I teach online business classes. I want to be able to just go wherever I want to go, whenever I feel like it, and then still work, as a professor. So thank you so much for sharing your story. And I saw your son; he's so cute. I saw one of the lives when I was
Thank
talking to you.
you.
So cute. And thank you for motivating us. You recently took a trip and a solo trip, and then you don't know it. My husband and I were listening to you on the YouTube as you were talking about it, and then I saw some of your pictures. So you really do motivate people, more people than you think you do. Now I was telling my husband, I said I'm going on a solo trip. If Charisma can do it, I can do it too.
Yes,
Yes.
I believe in those solo trips. I'm actually going to do a live next week where I'm going to talk about the solo trip. And the name of the live is Sis, You Deserve a Solo Trip. Because you do. I know,
That's
I
right.
already know you do. I don't
That's
even have
right.
to know you personally to know that you do.
That's right. That's right. I agree. I agree. And I received that from you, Charisma. You said, but let me tell you how I got connected with you. I was watching the Exodus Summit,
Mhm.
and you taught during that class. And I didn't know that word, the S word was syndication. I
Yeah.
did not know about syndications until you taught that, number one. And then I immediately, while you were talking, I went ahead and I bought um,
Oh, okay.
your course on real estate. And then when I started watching your YouTube, I said, you know what? I need to have her on my platform so that she could actually teach us about syndication. So if you don't mind, would you tell us what is syndications?
So, syndications, I got into it because I was looking for more stuff where I didn't have to be there and I didn't have to be as hands on. I really wanted my money to make money for me. And what syndications do is it allows you to invest in things that you wouldn't really be able to buy on your own unless you're a multimillionaire. So you have a number of investors that take their money, put that money together, and they actually purchase a property. The thing about syndications is there are people, a group of individuals typically, that's called sponsors. They find the property. They find the property. Let's say it's a 100-unit apartment building. They come together, they put all of this information together about this property, they present the numbers to you, let you know how this should be performing and how you can benefit from it. So you go in and you purchase a percentage of this property. The good thing about it is you're for the most part a silent investor. So this is not one of those I want to make these walls white and gray and all of that. No, this is not that. You're a silent investor. You put your money into it, and in a good investment, you can double your money. So you can you create a portfolio. You create what is your goal. So like when I do one-on-ones with clients, I'm like, what is your goal? So for me, I have different buckets. I do your regular single family homes, but when I look at my syndication, this is money that I want to grow over years. That's why I put money into syndications. And syndications can be apartment buildings, they can be storage facilities, they can be RV parks. So don't think that it's only apartment buildings. Crowdfunding is a type of syndication that normally requires lower amounts of money, maybe $1,000, $5,000. But when we're looking at syndications, we're looking at a little bigger chunk, maybe 10,000, 25, 50. So this is a place, if you have a 401k that's performing badly, you can a lot of times roll this 401k. You can use the money in the 401k to invest in a syndication. This is how the rich are doing it. It's just not how we're doing it.
Yes.
Because as middle class individuals, we don't really know about all of this. We just let the 401k take our money, and then we let the people in the background do whatever they want to do with it. But the people that's really making money, they're putting at least a portion of their large sums of money into syndications, because your 401k is not going to double in 5 years. It's just not. If you look at it right now, I don't even look at mine, but it's not going to double. So if you can put 50K into something and you can turn around and get 100K or more in 3 to 5 years, if you you really get into it, you can look at even land deals. There are land deals. You put in 50K, you can make another 50K in a year. So the deals are there. The money is to be made. It's just that we as a community don't know anything about it. When I
Yeah.
learned about it, I had never heard of it before.
Yes. And neither had I until you taught us about that. That's why this live is so important today, because I know that I've been called by God to lead people to their wealthy place. So I can't do that on my own. I need people like you to teach us. And your course, so if you're listening, you can't hear the people on Charisma, but I hear
Mm.
people in the background saying, how do we get in contact with her? I want to learn more about syndications. I want to be coached. So could you tell us where to actually find you?
So I have a website because I do coaching, I do courses. Syndications is one of my primary courses. On my website, charisma-cares.com, you can go on there and click on the link for courses, and it'll bring up all of the courses. I have the syndication. I have one on real estate. If you want to buy your first property, if you have properties and you need to figure out how to actually manage tenants without the tenants managing you, I have that as well. One thing I do tell people about syndications: don't just walk into it blindly. Remember, this is a large sum of money that you are putting in the hands of someone. The reason I created the course is actually because of the ladies that watched me on the Exodus Summit. I did not have a course for syndications. They requested a course. They wanted to know, how do you invest? Because I told them, you got to know certain things. So I created the course specifically for women that wanted to invest in syndications, because when I looked it up, I couldn't find anything that taught you how to invest in it. I found plenty that teaches you how to get a syndication if you want to be a sponsor, but not how to invest in it. So this course will teach you how to come up with your criteria of what you want to invest in. You need to know certain numbers, IRR, COC. You need to know these things, because this is what they're going to present to you. And you need to be able to say, no, I don't want it because that's too low. Yes, I do want it. That's too risky. This is what I'm teaching you. You also need to know how to evaluate your sponsors, because your sponsors are going to be running your deal. So whether you have whether you invest in one syndication or you invest in a fund, you need to know these things so that you can invest with the knowledge and you're not going in blindly.
There you have it. Thank you so much for sharing that information. I'm learning every time you speak. I learned something new, and I didn't know that. So my question for you is, how do I find out about syndications? How do I know what's up?
So I try to send out emails when I get syndications in my email box, but you can really type it in online. You can type
Oh,
online apartment multifamily syndications. You can type in commercial real estate investing. You will see syndications that way. I also I am part of a network. It's called GOB Network. I don't get anything for referrals, but I love this network because I feel like they educate you. And on this network, they do a call on Tuesdays. And when they do that call on Tuesdays, different individuals can come in and tell about their syndications. Now, know that the network does not vet the syndications. You
okay.
again, this is why you need that course because you're going to need to know how to vet these syndications. But they will it's called GOB Network.
Okay.
But you will have different sponsors coming in going over their syndications. So that's just one that I'm part of. There's also multifamily network. They do the same thing. So once you get into the network, trust me, they will email you and let you know every time they have a syndication.
And you know,
So yep.
go ahead. Go ahead. You have sent email to me. You have.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So that's the thing. You kind of start to learn about them and don't feel like you have to jump into the first one. I know they said it's closing and I know they said this is the last day. It's not closing today.
Okay.
It's not the last day. Take
Okay.
your time, do your research. Like my grandmother said, what's for Caesar, Caesar will get.
That's right.
So
That's right. So how much money does a person normally need? Like a low figure? Are you
low figure, I would say 10,000.
okay?
Each syndication will have its minimum amount. There's also accredited versus non-accredited investors, which I talk about in the course. But
Okay.
most of us are middle class individuals are non-accredited individuals. So we have to look for syndications that are for non-accredited individuals. If you're accredited, that opens you up a little bit more. But non-accredited, they start most of the time a little lower. You may have some that's 10,000. You may have some that's 50,000. And some may start at 100,000, but this is part of your criteria. If it's more than you want to invest, then you don't invest that. You wait for the next one to come around. There's one that they just closed not too long ago, maybe a month ago, right around the corner from me. So there's plenty
Oh,
of them.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing this information, Charisma. I'm eating it up. I know that my listening audience is eating it up. And if you're listening to this on the replay, be sure to connect with Charisma. Take the course I did. I do recommend it. I do stand behind it. And another thing that I believe in, I believe in all of us working together as a unit and supporting each other, is hashtag collab, not competition. You know, we're not going to compete with one another. So today I may not have $10,000 by myself, but you know what? I got 9 other sisters that have $1,000. You know, so we
Yep.
all pool that money together, and then actually, invest in that together. I believe we could, in order to
Mm-hmm.
make that happen. Thank you so much for giving us the blueprint. Thank you for sharing the information. Now, just don't run with it. Make sure you buy the course, connect with Charisma, get some knowledge. Don't go and invest $50,000 and you don't really know what you're doing. And I thank God for you, Charisma, that you're actually sharing that. Earlier, Lanisha said hello to you, Charisma, and
Hi.
Kay is she's a finance expert herself, so she's been waiting on you to come and share today. She just said thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
and also Queen Lanisha, she's been waiting on you also. So connect with Charisma. Be sure to go to her website, buy her course. It does not cost anybody anything to subscribe to somebody's YouTube. Subscribe to her YouTube, get the notifications, and let's continue to love on each other and grow with one another. I want to thank you so much. So I got a couple more questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. How did you find your first property?
So my first property was my first house. That was the property that I said I was going to. I held on for longer than I should have, and I turned into a rental.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Um, if So here's the big thing. There's a mass exodus going on. And I
Hmm.
believe that women of color are leaving the US, you know,
In record numbers.
in record numbers. And we need to, we need to be like educated on how to really do that process. Where did you find the courage to actually go ahead and do the things that you're doing as far as travel is concerned?
I think for my kids.
Oh,
I really think it was for my kids. I've always wanted to travel. And like I said, for my son, I'm like, we got to do it now. And I mean, it's been a few years and he has not declined at all, like the doctor said he has. But I
wow.
think it's because we live overseas. We do a lot of walking, a lot of swimming, a lot of natural eating. I think that's really what it is. And I mean, I'm glad I got the courage to do real estate and invest more and, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, building up to the point where I'm at now, because now I can live, life freely. And I'm not no millionaire. I'm working on it. I'm working
It's
on it.
coming. It's coming.
It's coming. Let's speak that into existence.
Yes.
But I'm just glad that I can do that for him. I feel like it's a lot, and this is coming from a nurse practitioner, y'all. But I feel like it's a lot of what we eat and all these medications and all of these things in America that's influencing this bad health.
Yes. I
So,
agree.
yeah, I feel like, we just do better when we're overseas. I come home to visit.
I'm just in my we're getting ready to do something, my husband and I. The entire month of May we're going to be in Mexico, and we only know where we're going to stay for the first 7 days.
Yep.
The rest of the time we're not sure. So this is taking a whole lot of courage, for me to actually even be able to do this. Because like in America, you try to keep a roof over your head at all times.
Hmm.
But when we go overseas, my husband and I are already thinking where are we going to go after those 7 days. We really don't know. So, but there's a whole like thousands of women that have done this by
Yep.
themselves and also with children. I'm going with my
Hmm.
husband. So
You can
what I'm
do it.
saying to you is that, like I said, you are my shiro. You and the other women that have made that exodus and have done it alone, I was like, wow. Um, Someone just said 100% agree. Our way of life here is horrible. It's different outside the U.S. Possibly moving their family is on their mind for sure. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, living
Yeah.
here can be difficult. Yes, and it is difficult for so many people.
Yeah. And I also do coaching because I do coaching for real estate. I do group coaching and all of that. But,
Okay.
I also have clients that contact me because they want to live overseas, or
Okay.
maybe they have a loved one with special needs and a disability and they want to know about it. So, I do offer that as well, because it is hard when you don't have anybody to talk to or anybody to speak in your language. I'm so glad that now, I'm on YouTube. You have like Stephanie Perry, you have all of these women that's on YouTube showing you that it's another way, and we're all doing it differently, but we're all doing it.
That's right. That's right. Same thing here. I thank God for you and for Stephanie Perry and all the women that are actually doing it and are showing us the way, and that path is growing that path for us. And I don't feel alone. Like I understand if something really went down, I got like a group of YouTubers that I could DM
Right.
and say, look, I'm in a tight spot and we need some help. And so thank you for sharing today. I don't know if you have any closing things you would like to leave with the listening audience before you leave.
Well, I would just tell you, I am definitely here to help. Whether it's investing in real estate, I do group classes for women. I'll help you if you want to travel and you have some questions. I am 100% here because, I mean, I had to have a listening ear somewhere too. And just know that you can do it. It's going to be some bumps and bruises along the way, but it's some bumps and bruises right here in the States too. So you can absolutely do it. You can invest, you can move, you can do whatever it is that you want to do.
Thank you so much, Charisma. And thank you, listening audience. Be sure to share this video out. Do not forget to contact Charisma. Screaming under both of us is her website, and get in contact with her. She coaches, she has those courses. And someone just said, I receive it. Thanks so much. That's sweet. That's good. See? Oh, yay. But thank you so much for listening today. This is Dr. Tonya. I am the host of the Mucho Dinero TV show. Miss Charisma Kears is on here. She has taught us about syndications, and guess what? She will lead us. She will guide us. And if you don't have all the money, then contact me. We could put some money together. We can hire Miss Charisma, and she will show us the way. Once again, thank you, listening audience. Have a wonderful day.
Ciao.